Is it his big car? Is it his big salary? Or is it the amount of people he has slept with? Very fascinating question. Well, physically, it's a dick. So usually, that's what makes man a man, physically. But we are talking now socially, because at the end of the day, if you have a penis, you are a man. Controversy. My third controversy. Oh no. Okay, so what makes man a man? People have different belief systems, but I think it's none of the stereotypes, or maybe a few of them, I guess. I think what makes man a man is if he is a respectful person. I think that when a man is confident, and when a man is, how do we say, reliable and truthful, does not lie. I think those are the few that make a man a man. Man. It's not his big muscles. No. There isn't a how do I say, muscle size requirement. There is no height requirement. You cannot even, control that, and you can't even fully control your muscle mass either. I mean, you can control a little bit, but that's not really what we're talking about. Honesty is very important. You gotta be honest, and if you're honest, it shows that you're not a, how do we say, a coward, and it also shows you that you are a something affects you and someone says something to you and something affects you really, really badly, and you protect yourself by saying whatever because you felt really bad, and you think that is like guidance, so you like act out, so it doesn't go any deeper, and you think that is self-respect. At times it can be, but most of the time it's you just don't wanna progress. You if you would just let it affect you fully, you just like you would transcend forward. But if you're protecting yourself, you're protecting a version of yourself, and when you're protecting a version of yourself, you cannot go higher as a personality. So if you just allow things to be, let it affect you and not protect a version of yourself, but know that there might be another version of yourself that you don't really need to protect, and then the other version of yourself could handle that situation even better. But if you do protect yourself unnecessarily in moments, it's like you are protecting a version of yourself where you are stuck in. For you to change and become better, you need to be in the uncomfortableness, the unknowingness, and in there, growth will happen, because ego will hold you back. Ego will hold you back, thinking it knows the best, knows all the decisions or whatever. But in that unknowingness, in the strange land where what you don't trust and feels very off, there is so much growth in there, and if you just allow it to happen and do not control with your ego, knowing that you know best, but are just curious about what could be happening in that strange area, then you grow and you know how to deal with certain situations better, even if they are very uncomfortable. Maybe the same situation where you like lashed out or were super angry or whatever could have been handled so much better if you had the emotional security, if you had this version of yourself that had already dealt with it. Because if you become like a new person, when you grow and become a new person, you will still have like sometimes you still have the same experiences like outwardly, but you don't feel like it's the same. It doesn't anger you anymore for some reason. Like you don't need to protect yourself. It's just like a thing. Like sometimes, let's say, I'm sure I've already done this somewhere. Let's say, let's take a person and they are walking the same street every day, and on that street there is like a little red paint on the street. No, let's just say the street is colored like black or whatever, the color of the asphalt, and you personally go about your day and don't even think about it. It's like you don't even think about it. You don't think that what's the color of the asphalt or whatever. But another person might look at the color and say, this pisses me off so much. This asphalt should have been blue. And it pisses them off so much all the time. Like, oh my god, every time they walk, they're like, oh my god, it's still not fixed, it's still not fixed, it's still not fixed. And it affects them so much. And while another person has no clue, like, has no even acknowledgement of there being a problem. You understand? So that's kind of what it is like with certain situations that you have maybe gone through that may be very extreme at the time, but when you grow as a person, you don't even see it that situation even being a problem. You understand me? So sometimes the ego needs some training, and by being in the uncomfortableness, it's you are allowing the ego to take so many hits, and your other part grows and your ego follows. So your ego